Ladies and gentlemen, the following podcast is set for one episode. Your host from Columbus, Ohio, is Michael Kirk. Welcome to the Outlaw Mudcast. Hello and welcome to the Outlaw Mudcast, your digital audio dirt sheet for all things Supershow. Our top story for this episode of the Mudcast is SRG Universe's return to conventions this weekend, starting on April 9th and concluding today as I record this, April 11th. SRG Universe was at the Huntsville Comic and Pop Culture Expo. They debuted some new competitors there, specifically 3 competitors, alt art competitors as far as I know, still with the same finishes as before. I can't confirm if that's the same or different. I will as soon as I can, but they debuted 3 convention and Supershow event exclusive competitors. Alt art competitors. Leo the Law, Night Terror, and Hurricane Gonzalez. These are only going to be available either at conventions or other events where SRG Universe is present. So for example, next month, I believe it is May 15th. Yes, it's May 15th. Rustmania 2. If SRG Universe has a presence there, if the SRG boss, the LFF general manager, maybe even the COO, if one of those people come, they may bring those 3 competitors for sale. That may or may not happen. There were also convention exclusive daily promos. This year, the weapon series is going to be Pineapple, Trash Can, and Sledgehammer. 2 years ago, it was Table, Ladder, and Steel Chain. Last year, it was Kendo Stick, Steel Chair, and Ring Steps. This year, it's going to be Pineapple, Trash Can, and Sledgehammer. Each day, they gave out at the convention an alternate art Pineapple card, Trash Can card, and Sledgehammer card, cards numbers 1, 2, 3 on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday respectively, that had the convention logo on them. There are those cards available for sale on the website, but it's a different art style. Outside of those things, specifically for conventions, a lot of new competitors made their debut, some new entrance cards debuted. All those things currently available on the website as I record this, supershowthegame.com. They had some promos available with apparel purchases. Those are also available through at least Sunday, possibly later, but through at least Sunday as I record this on supershowthegame.com. Buy apparel, receive a promo. That's all the debuting stuff. But the big highlights, though, the 3 exclusive competitors, Night Terror, Leo the Law, and Hurricane Gonzalez, and the 3 special daily promos, Pineapple, Trash Can, and Sledgehammer. Outside of the new cards and competitors debuting, we had, for the first time since 2019, we had in-person competitor tournaments. There were 2 tournaments. Saturday, they had a World Heavyweight Championship tournament. In addition to actually having the tournaments, they brought back something that I don't believe they've had since 2018, which is the winners of the tournaments receive special entrance cards highlighting that they have won the tournament. I believe the last time was 2018. They didn't do them in 2019, didn't do them in 2020. But they brought those back for the Huntsville Comic and Pop Culture Expo. I'm happy they did that. I'm a big fan of those. I would like it if they would go back and give the past winners in 2018 and 2020 those cards as well. But I'm glad to see them make their return. Anyway, back to the tournament. Had Saturday the World Heavyweight Championship tournament. The finals of that tournament ended up being Hold the Line Harry using Hold the Line Harry and Ken Fouché using Hallow King. In a very short match, Hold the Line Harry, who had not won a turn roll the entire match, wins a turn roll, and because he had a leg lock, I believe, in play, a follow-up stop. He was able to play a finish. It hits. He rolls a 9. Ken Fouché is unable to break out. Hold line here becomes the first Huntsville Comic and Pop Culture Expo World Heavyweight Champion. Congratulations to him. Sunday, they have a tag team tournament. This is not a tornado tag team tournament. It is a multiplayer tag team tournament. You and a partner face off against an opponent and the opponent's partner. The finalists in this tournament, wrapping up as the convention was closing and they were taking down the tables, were Sean Loeb and the Lucha Maniacal Uberstar versus Young Allergy and the Mad Custodian. Sean Loeb was using Caleb Conley. The Lucha Maniacal Uberstar was using Style O. Young Allergy was using the new version of Anarchy Sun. And the Mad Custodian was using the Chair Extraordinaire, Sean Spears. Unfortunately, the finale of that match was not recorded. They recorded up to a point where we actually saw the Mad Custodian and Young Allergy hit back-to-back finishes. So it seemed like they were in the lead, but after the broadcast had to end due to the convention hall closing, when the match resumed, Sean Loeb and the Lucha Maniacal Uberstar walked away as the victors. They are the first ever Huntsville Comic and Pop Culture Expo Tag Team Champions. Congratulations to them. In addition to the official SRG tournaments, there were also some SRG championships defended at the convention. First, we have the Deep South Championship. Hold the Line Harry, going into the convention as the Deep South champion with Mila Mai, was challenged by Bob Dunn using Big Bad Bobby D. Mr. Micah does have a shot at the championship, but because he was not able to be at the convention, they went to the next challenger, which was Bob Dunn. This was a submission match with a special guest referee of Mambata. Quite a long match, as submission matches usually are. Hold the Line Harry was able to get out both his strike and grapple finish, and with the turn roll boosts on those, was able to win a lot of turn rolls, eventually get through all of Bob Dunn's stops, hit his submission finish, and Bob Dunn could not kick out. Hold the Line Harry, I believe with his 7th successful defense, is still the Deep South champion. The last championship match that I'm aware of for this weekend at the Huntsville Comic and Pop Culture Expo was the 6-Stop Challenge Championship. This is a championship that can only be defended in person at conventions and I'm assuming other SRG events. Consequently, it hasn't been at the Online Origins or Gen Con or Online Grand Gathering. This is the first time it's been able to be defended in quite a long time. The champion going into this weekend, Matt Barone with Joseph Ritchie. He is challenged by Ken Fouché. Ken Fouché using King Hyena, a very strong competitor in a match where there are few stops. King Hyena, whenever King Hyena's player gets a turn roll bonus, the turn roll bonus is increased by 1. And King Hyena was able to get on a roll, keep hitting cards because he kept winning turn rolls. Eventually he hits his finish. Matt Barone's unable to kick out, and Ken Fouché, winning his first ever LFF title, is now the 6-Stop champion. Congratulations to him. Congratulations to all the players that had success at the Huntsville Comic and Pop Culture Expo. I wish I could have been there with you guys, but have to be next time. Rustmania is coming up, like I said, May 15th. I'm looking forward to seeing as many people as I can there. That, I think, is the next big in-person Supershow event. Other news from this week, championship news. Mysterious, the LFF Tri-State champion, defended this weekend against Candyman. Mysterious using Big Match Pete. Candyman using Chloe Mai. I was unable to watch that match I missed it live, and unfortunately it was not recorded. From what I understand, there were only a few turns, and Mysteria successfully defended. She is still the LFF Tri-State Champion. Congratulations to her. Next big story is the ongoing Kickstarter campaign for Supershow the Comic, issues number 1 and number 2. As I am recording this, the current pledged total, the amount of money pledged to the campaign, is $17,040. 166 people have backed the campaign. There are 14 days to go in the campaign. As of last time I reported on this, we have received all of the funding goals through, I believe, 13,500. That put us with the Mass Llama Spotlight created and on the doorstep of unlocking the Snake Pit Spotlight printed. The spotlights, in this case, referring to what I believe are pin-up type arts for these competitors. With a pledge goal of 17,000, assuming that does not change, we have now unlocked the printed Snake Pit Spotlight, a full art promo card number 23, which is the old switcheroo. It's a follow-up grapple that says add 2 cards from your discard pile to your hand. It, as well as the previous unlocked card number 22, Reckless Assault, which does the same thing. These are full art cards. They are currently available on the Kickstarter.com page for Supershow the Comic, number 1 and number 2, if you want to take a look at those. That's been unlocked. The Aegea de los Muertos Spotlight printed, and the Sage the Wicked Witch Spotlight printed. So as of right now, there are 4 spotlights, which I'm assuming are like pin-ups or splash page type arts, if you're familiar with that comic terminology. Basically just single printed pages with art featuring these competitors. We have 4 of those unlocked: Snake Pit, El Super Hombre, Aegea de los Muertos, and Sage the Wicked Witch. The next goal on the list that's been revealed so far is, if the pledge goal hits 18,000 and stays at 18,000 through the end of the campaign, that is, it's 18,000 or more when the campaign closes, the next thing listed is the Newman's Henchman Competitor card set. Not just the card, but the card and the finishes. That is the next funding goal. As far as the other goals are concerned, as I record this, none of the additional community goals have been unlocked since last week. I reported before we unlocked, because we funded under 2 minutes, the funded under 2 minutes and funded 24 hours goals. The 3 goals that remain to be unlocked are, with 500 social media shares of the post on the SRG Universe Facebook page, they'll unlock a full art version of card number 2 lockup. With 500 comments on Kickstarter, they'll unlock a full art version of card number 3 headlock. And if 300 people back, they will unlock a Team Valiant competitor card. Not the set, just the card. Those are the remaining community stretch goals currently listed on the Kickstarter page for the campaign. I don't know if we'll get to 300 backers. We're currently at 166. We can get the 500 shares and the 500 comments. So please comment on the Kickstarter page for Supershow the Comic number 1 and number 2. Please share the post pinned on the SRG Universe Facebook page. It says in the description that it's the post to be shared for the goal, so make sure you're sharing that one. We have not hit 100 comments or 100 shares. We still have over 400 of each to go. We can still achieve this. If all 166 backers share just 3 times, we should hit the share goal. If people in the community come to the Kickstarter page, you don't have to pledge the campaign to comment, as far as I know. If you do, then I'm wrong. I know you don't have to pledge to share. But if you would just share and comment if possible, help us achieve these goals. The last thing I'll talk about on the Kickstarter campaign before I go on to other news are the 3 top pledges, the 3 top tiers, being drawn into the comic, getting a half-page competitor spotlight and a full-page competitor spotlight. Last time, I believe there were a dozen people who'd pledged to get into the Battle Royal to be drawn into a panel. That's up to 14, so there are only 10 left. The half-page competitor, I think that's dropped. I wanted to say last time there were 3 backers of that tier. I only see 1 backer. Now, for the full page, that's gone up. That was 1 last time. It's 3 now, so there's only 1 left. But that's where we are right now. Like I said, last time with the Kickstarter, if you just want to help pledge, the $10 pledge to get the digital issues plus all the stretch goals is good, as like a good budget pledge. If you want to get all the competitor sets possible, pledge at $70. That gets you all 3 of the competitors, Super Hombre, Snake Pit, and Rock Newman. Those are kind of the 2 tiers I'd recommend unless you want to get yourself in the comic. Outside of that, that's going to do it for the Kickstarter news. Let's go on to the CCC. We're still in round 3 of the Create a Competitor competition for 2020. The Dweeb was the last winner, so the Dweeb and the Memes Dealer are in round 4. This week, starting Monday, we will have the Plant-Based Bruiser and Vicious Vic Vandal square off in the Memes round. That round will go live Monday night. I believe it's around 7 p.m. Eastern Time, so watch for that. Again, post a hashtag, a photo, a meme, a video. All the rules will be listed on the post. To cast your votes, there's a point system for each thing you post. Whoever has the most points at the end of the match wins, goes on to the semifinal round. That will do it for the CCC right now. Let's talk about the championship picture. First off, last weekend I reported about the tournament, the final countdown, where the winner would be the 3rd man in the next triad match. Candyman Dan being the champion, and Matt Barone being the first challenger. This tournament was to determine the 2nd. Candyman Dan won the tournament. So obviously, he can't be the champion and the challenger. As a result, the general manager made the following announcements regarding the Triad Championship. First, because he won the tournament, Candyman Dan now has the ability to pick the stipulation in his next defense of the Triad Championship. Candyman Dan has not announced what that will be yet. I don't know when he will, but he has that option as a result of winning. Second, to determine who the other challenger will be, the LFF general manager has decided that the gentleman who placed 2nd, 3rd, and 4th in the tournament will face off in a triad match. The winner will be the contender. To recap from last week, 2nd place in that tournament was Ken Boucher with El Super Hombre. 3rd place was The Grump with Rob Van Dam. And 4th place was Bob Dunn with Evie Laveau. These 3 men, using the same competitors, will face off in the triad match, and the winner will face Candyman Dan and Matt Barone in a match for the Triad Championship. That's the first bit of championship news. Second, Dick Thunderlips, the man who runs the Intergalactic Championship, announced that there will be a 4-man, I believe, mini tournament to determine the next challenger for the current champion, Kid Thunder. He has chosen Scott Winterbauer, Brian Waitfort Schmidt, and Mr. Poppentwist to be 3 of the 4. The 4th man was actually chosen as a result of a raffle that took place in the chat on Twitch during Talk of the Universe when this was announced. The winner of the raffle was Jim Bias. So Jim Bias, Scott Winterbauer, Brian Schmidt, and Mr. Poppentwist will have a chance to compete for a shot at the Intergalactic Championship. Third, as I reported on last week, and I believe maybe even the week prior, the general manager John Clace and loudmouth Leo Larynx, who's in charge of the tag team division, decided to create a 4-team mini tournament to determine the next contender for McPeak Inc. and the LFF Tag Team Championships. We knew that one of the people chosen was going to be Johnny Eldorado, and he had to choose if he would pick Kid Thunder or Joe Platino Lindo, his partner in G2G, to go for the championships. He chose JPL. So, G2G, Grave to Grave, the SRG Boss's favorite tag team, is one of the tag teams in this tournament. The next entrant chosen is the team that first held the championships, Big Money. The big guy and the moneymaker will have a shot to become 2-time tag team champions. The third team, a team that, along with the fourth team, is relatively new to me, Christmas Lights. This is the team of Chugonomics and Prince Butters. I'm not sure if they're a team that is prominent in FCW, but they're the third team and the final team going for a shot at the championship. I believe they're called Veteran Show Wrestling. It's the team of Evie Fresh and the Enforcer from King Show Wrestling. Those are the 4 teams going for the Tag Team Championships. Speaking of Tag Team Championships, there's currently a tournament ongoing for the Tornado Tag Team Championships. As I record this on April 11th, it is the last day for all of the groups, with the exception of one group because of a late entrant, a substitute entrant. This is the last day for all the groups to submit their win-loss records. I believe you're submitting them on an individual basis to John Clace at srguniverse.com. I apologize if that's incorrect, but this is the last day for everybody to submit their records. I would say, based on past experience, don't just give your wins and losses. Say who you won against and who you lost against. Finally, as far as championship news goes, the general manager has announced a singles tournament to take place as part of his April 17th Supershow card. This will be a single elimination tournament, and there will be stipulation matches throughout the tournament. Now, there is a wrinkle with the stipulation matches, and here is that wrinkle. Thursday, or thereabouts, before the actual tournament takes place, so around April 15th, give or take, there's going to be a triad match. The LFF Tri-State Champion, the Deep South Champion, and the Midwest Coast Champion will face off. As of right now, the Tri-State Champion is Mysterious. The Deep South Champion is Hold the Line Harry. The Midwest Coast Champion is Bobby Ohio. As far as I know, those won't change before that happens. So those 3 people will face off in a triad match. The winner of that match will win a GM's favor for every player in his region. For example, if the Deep South Champion wins, players from Georgia, Florida, Kentucky, Tennessee, and so on, when they're in matches and there's a stipulation, they have the option to cancel the stipulation and make it a standard singles match. Again, that favor will go to every player who lives in the region whose champion wins the triad match. From the way the general manager John Clace described this on Talk of the Universe, it sounded like unlimited use of the favor. So, if you use the favor in the initial round, you could use it in second, third, all the way up to the final round if you're able to use it. it did not sound like use of the favor was a one-time thing. That's going to do it for the new championship news. Since we're talking about the April 17th events, I will reiterate that there's still going to be the Claim the Throne match on the 17th to determine the next contender for the Underworld Championship. There's still going to be some sort of Cosmic Crusader birdcage match, I believe, involving various factions. We did not get any more detail on that. I think there's still supposed to be a Trios Championship defense. Maybe one or two other defenses as well. That really was not updated this week. We may not find out the details on that until the next episode of Talk of the Universe Wednesday night. So if you're interested in that, watch for that next episode. And that's pretty much going to do it before I start talking about the other tournaments from this past week. I do want to mention one thing. I did a special report Monday talking about the GTS distribution version of Steel Cage deck number 1. That the deck is going to feature the brand new Brian Cage competitor set, and it will feature 2 out of 6 random promos related to the Steel Cage stipulation. 3 of the 6 promos are skill requirement cards, numbers 16 through 18. 3 of them are generic finishes, 28, 29, and 30. If you're interested in looking at those or looking at the Brian Cage competitor set, if you look at the photos section of the Supershow discussion group on Facebook, the images of all the cards are posted there. You can read and see what they do. As far as this new deck goes, per the GTS distribution website, the release date for these decks is April 15th. That is next Thursday as I record this. If you want to, reach out to your local store and ask them to order for you if they have a GTS distribution account, which, according to the general manager, many stores do. Per the general manager, it is currently the only way to get the Brian Cage competitor set, as well as the promos. That may change, but if you want the Brian Cage set, if you want the limited promo Steel Cage cards, as of right now, the only way to get them is through the GTS distribution Steel Cage decks. Now let's talk about the tournaments from last week. Last Sunday, we had a pop-up tournament hosted once again by Brian Schmidt. This was his extravaganza tournament. I don't have a lot of details on it, but I give you the top 4. In 4th place, using Papa Wheelie, Justin Myers. In 3rd place, using Big Match Pete, was Big Match Pete. And the finals saw Chris Pate using X-Royce face off against Anthony Perry using Leo Rush. The winner, Chris Pate with X-Royce. Congratulations to him. Monday, Proving Ground, I believe, using Bombada's Dark Match stipulation. In 4th place, using Chugonomics, Dom Buchter. In 3rd place, using Highwater, Loudmouth Leo Larynx. The final saw Mark Sylvia using Johnny Gargano face off against Brian Schmidt using the Gold Standard. The winner, Brian Schmidt with the Gold Standard. Congratulations to him. The final tournament. Thursday, we had Chibi's Thursday Night Fights. 16 players, 4 pods, cut to a top 8. The top 8 matches were all Lumberjack. The top 4 were all Steel Chain. The finals, and probably the 3rd place match, was a TLC match. I don't know if a 3rd place match took place, but a lot of times they do. The 3rd place winner ended up being Chris Pagillo using Everybody. The finalists were Brian Sutton using Bjorn the Norseman and Brock Carson using Night Terror. The winner here, Brian Sutton. congratulations to him. Congratulations to all the tournament winners, both the online tournaments as well as the Huntsville tournaments and all the other big winners for championships this week. As of right now, on supershowthegame.com, under the online event section, there are only 2 events listed. The first I talked about a little bit earlier. I'll describe it again briefly. It's called, on the website, GM Calais Single Elimination Saturday World Championship Shot. $5 entrance fee, slated to take place at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Single elimination tournament, maximum of 64 players. May have triad or fatal 4-way matches if there's not an even number of players to do all singles. Like I said, there will be stipulations. The ability to waive off stipulations will depend on the triad match for the regional champions. There's no sign-up card. There are no prizes outside of winning. When you sign up, you have to list 4 competitors. If all 4 are selected, the general manager will pick one for you. You'll have to use that competitor. The deck lists for this tournament, you must submit a deck list. It is due by noon Eastern on the date of the tournament on April 17th. You must submit that deck list to John Calais at srguniverse.com. And there will be no Zoom rooms set up for this, so it's going to be up to the players to set up their matches for this tournament. You'll have to reach out to your opponent and figure out if you're going to play in Zoom or Discord or Facebook or something. That's going to be up to the players, not up to the tournament organizer. That's the first tournament up there. The second tournament is in question because this is the Bombadas Dark Match Extravaganza. $5 entrance fee. It is scheduled to take place at 8:30 p.m. on the 17th, where all the matches are played under the dark match stipulation. Without going into a lot of depth, the discard pile is not public knowledge in this stipulation. Other than that, this is a double elimination tournament. And again, I can't give you more details than that because I don't know if this tournament is still going to be taking place or not. I know there's been back and forth, but as of last Wednesday, nothing's been resolved. So this may take place on the 17th at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. It may not. Those are the only 2 events listed on supershowthegame.com. I assume there will be a dojo match. Thursday, we know Chibi is not doing a tournament. The reason we know that is because this is going to be his Tournament of Champions Seat of Power event. At this point, with all the Chibi's Seat of Power events he's run, there have been 16 winners. Those 16 winners are going to face off in a tournament. The first round will be played using the Psycho Circus stipulation, the next round with the Steel Cage stipulation, the semifinal round under the submission stipulation, and the finals will be ladder matches. As far as I know, that's correct. I apologize if that's not the format, but from what I understand, it is. That is what Chibi is doing on Thursday. If somebody else hosts a Thursday night tournament, we could see that. I don't know because between the Chibi's Tournament of Champions and the triad match between the regional champions, I don't know if there's going to be enough room Thursday to run something else. We will see. But that is it for the upcoming tournaments for next week. And that is it for this week's episode of the Outlaw Mudcast. I'd like to thank all of you for listening, and good day.